The body takes the nutrients from the things that we eat and drink, and then converts it to energy, and then it gets rid of the waste products or things we don't need anymore in the bowel and and through the kidneys.
Let it flow. It's Hunt for Wellness, episode number 45. Hello, welcome to Hunt for Wellness. I am John Hunt.
And I'm Christy Hunt.
And this is the show where we help you live your best life, mind, body, and spirit. And this episode of Hunt for Wellness is brought to you by waterdistillers.com, producing great water through the finest water distiller machines on the whole earth. You can check it out over at waterdistillers.com. Let it flow. It sounds like something that waterdistillers.com would like.
Yeah, they would.
Okay, so if you've just joined us, in the last several episodes, we've been working on the systems of the body. And so, let it flow. I wonder what that's all about.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What do all these issues have in common that I'm going to list? Okay. Allergies, anxiety, back pain, chronic fatigue, constipation, dizziness, dry skin, fibromyalgia, headaches, heartburn, lack of sweating, lightheadedness, obesity, sleepiness, sunken eyes, and tiredness.
A very person that's in a very bad shape. Does someone have all that? I don't know, but
no.
I have no clue. What do all those things have in common other than you don't want them?
Absolutely, you don't want them.
Yeah.
So they all respond to the same solution.
Okay, the same solution.
Yeah. So, and it's an interesting one. It's not one that you would think.
Okay. Well, I know. I'm thinking right now, and I can't think of what.
Yeah, but I want you to hang on. I'm not going to tell you the answer just yet.
Teaser.
So I'm going to give you the backstory.
Okay, what's the backstory?
Okay, the backstory is we're going to talk about the kidneys or the renal system.
Okay. The kidneys.
Yeah. Do you know about the kidneys?
Other than one of our daughters only has one because she lost one at a very young age. But, so I know you have two of them. Most people have two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And aren't they don't they kind of act as like the filter that things go through and get kind of cleaned up?
They clean the blood.
Yeah. It's kind of like the car wash of the body. Kind of, but not really.
Yeah, I guess you could call it that.
Okay.
But it's more like a filter, Yeah.
So what's the word renal? Is there some like a Latin root to that or something, or do you know?
That I don't know.
Okay, well, I thought I would try to stump you at least once today.
Okay.
So,
thanks.
okay. So, the renal system or the kidneys. Is there anything else in the renal system other than kidneys?
Yeah. Well, there's the kidneys, and then connected to the kidneys is a long tube, or not super long, but it is a tube, a narrow tube that goes to the bladder.
Okay.
And the bladder is what holds the urine.
Okay.
The urine is produced in the kidneys, and then it drips down through the ureter to the bladder, and then it comes out another little tube of the urethra, which is the opening to the body when you urinate in the toilet, hopefully.
Yes.
And so it helps get rid of the waste and regulate the blood volume and the blood pressure, and controls electrolytes, metabolites, and helps regulate the blood pH.
Sounds a lot like a water distiller. Good thing they're sponsoring this show. But
yeah, it is good.
Okay.
It is really good. So there's other things that affect the blood pH, and that the blood pH is like the alkaline or the acid of the blood, and the body keeps it really right around 7.
Yeah, you want to keep it, that's kind of called neutral, isn't
it? Yes, it wants to keep it right there in the middle. the more acidic the blood is, the sicker the person is, actually. And so other things that affect the blood pH are what you eat, vomiting, diarrhea, your lung function, endocrine function, that's like the hormones, and kidney function, and actually urinary tract infections can affect it too, or infections.
Yeah. I know Frank over at waterdistillers.com talks about the pH of distilled water, and that's one of the benefits of it. It's very close to 7. It's just a little below, but it's about as neutral as you can get for water, because there's all kinds of theories on what kind of water. Some people say you should have more alkaline water, and water can vary, but that's what's great about distilled water is its pH is very neutral.
Yeah, so then your body doesn't have to work hard to make it neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. And so I know when I was working in the ICU and we had patients on the ventilator, we would do their test their blood pH to see how well they were managing.
Yeah.
Did we need to change the ventilator to help them with their blood pH? So
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very interesting. So anyways, the body takes the nutrients from the things that we eat and drink.
Yeah.
And then converts it to energy, and then it gets rid of the waste products or things we don't need anymore in the bowel and in the and through the kidneys. So
awesome. Every part of the body does its job, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's all connected.
It is. Yes, we talked about that before as well.
So even though we're separating it out into different systems, it's just to help us understand the body better.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's obviously things that can go wrong with every area of the renal system.
Okay.
So some people can get like kidney stones.
Oh yeah.
Those are
Heard of those. I don't ever want one.
Harden bits of calcium and such that harden in the kidney, and then they have to go through that little tube.
Yeah.
To get to the bladder, and then another tube out, and that's why it hurts so bad, because it's going through those tight tubes. It's just supposed to have liquid going through there, not stones.
Yeah.
So there's things you can do to try to help keep yourself from getting stones, and one of them is drinking water and
keeping that system flushed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's, I remember one of our daughters had a kidney stone, we think.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And
that was a different one.
Drinking a lot of water was really key.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what they do when you go in and see a professional.
Right. They'll give you an IV to basically
just, flush it out. Yeah. There's no really magical way you can get it.
I had a patient, very interesting. He told me he got a kidney stone. He knew it was a kidney stone because he'd had it before. And he was in like another country that has poor health care. Yeah. And he's like, oh my gosh, I do not want to go to that hospital. So he said he just went in the bathroom, held onto the sink, jumped up and down as hard as he could, and he moved that stone.
Oh my gosh. We're not recommending that, by the way.
But I mean, it was just
interesting.
Yeah. Like, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that definitely is one way to do it.
Anyways, to prevent it is the best way. By taking good care of yourself. Okay. Other things that can happen, you can get bladder infections.
Heard of those, yep.
Yep. And those can get really bad because bladder infections can then move up the ureter and get a kidney infection, which is much worse. And you can get very sick, and you can actually spread the infection throughout your body. So, of course, you don't want to do that.
No.
Men can get an enlarged prostate, which makes it difficult to empty the bladder. And you have to go more often because it's not emptying well. Yeah. And it also can cause people to get up during the night and go to the bathroom. So, or having trouble holding the bladder, holding the urine in the bladder. That's called incontinence. And you can have stress incontinence, which means when you laugh or sneeze or things like that, you leak a little.
Oh.
Which is not so good.
Yeah. Be careful that you laugh. Don't laugh too hard.
Right. And there's other things too, but those are kind of like the common ailments of the bladder and the kidney. So, and just if it smells really bad.
Like what are some of the signs of it?
If your urine smells really bad, that's not a good sign. Or if it hurts when you're urinating, that's not good either.
So
having trouble emptying the bladder, all those kinds of things.
I think people, like, when they have something going on with their bladder, they know it because the signs are pretty obvious.
Yeah, it hurts when you're urinating and things like that. Yeah. So it's actually pretty easy to keep your kidney and bladder function good.
Okay.
It actually is.
How do we do that then?
We got to keep things flowing.
Yes, let it flow. There is where the title of this ties in. And I thought it was going to be like, let it go, let it go, let it flow.
Well, it's kind of like that too.
Yeah, it is. Okay, good. So if you don't get anything from this episode other than let it flow, you'll remember that.
Yeah. And so very simple things you can do is like go to the bathroom when you feel like you need to.
Yeah.
Don't hold it too long.
Right.
Because you can overstretch the bladder muscle and make it weak and more likely to not function as well and kind of prone to get an infection. So
we do that well on car trips because we stop like every 2 hours.
Yeah, we can't
make it past 2 hours.
Any problem doing that. Well, we drink a lot and then we got to walk around. I hate sitting too long.
Yep.
So, that's really important. People can do pelvic floor exercises. This is particularly for women.
Yeah.
Because after they have babies, things can get kind of stretched out and have difficulty with their bladder, with the pelvic floor. And so doing these Kegel exercises can really help. And that is simply to know what it is.
Right.
Is when you're urinating, stop. Like clench those muscles that make it stop. And then relax, and then clench those muscles. So you only want to stop the urinating when you're trying to figure out what it is. After that, you just practice those exercises without the urination part. So that really does strengthen the muscles and helps empty the bladder and keeps it healthy.
Yep.
You know, when you exercise, that's good for you.
It is good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also just wearing clothes that are not too tight and cotton clothes to allow the body to breathe.
Yeah.
If it's too tight down around the bladder, then and the urethra, it can get moist and wet and an infection can develop.
Right.
So you want to keep it clean and dry.
Very good.
And then, of course, eating healthy, drinking good things. You know, sugary things are not good for your health.
But I bet distilled water is good for you.
Distilled water is really good.
It is. It is really good.
Fantastic.
We're big proponents of that.
Yes. Limiting your alcohol and your caffeine, John.
I can limit the alcohol. It's the caffeine that I have a problem limiting. But I'll do my best.
And then avoiding constipation. But if you're drinking water, that's going to help constipation.
Yeah. Lets it flow.
Yeah.
Which is
let it go.
Let it go, which is the theme of the show.
Yes. Smoking can cause problems too, cause irritations. And And I've seen some really bad stuff when I was a nurse in the hospital.
Yeah.
With people with the bladder and super irritated and very, that's unusual that it's really bad, but it can happen.
Yeah.
So let's keep it good. So I do want to tell you, I want to tell you about a few supplements that can help, but then I got a great story.
Okay. All right. Well, tell us about the supplements first.
Okay.
And then we'll hear the story.
So just some supplement or essential oils, first of all, that can help is lemon. Lemon is great. Real lemon and lemon essential oil, which is the lemon rind, basically, oil of the lemon rind. Really good for you. Other ones for the kidney and bladder, Juniper, lemongrass, Valor, and 3 Wisemen. So those are oils you can use. You can rub them on the, your back or lower abdomen or just on your wrists.
Yeah.
And you can put that lemon in your water and drink it.
Yeah, that would be really good too.
It tastes really good. And that was some of the stuff that we use for our kids.
Yes.
When they've had some kidney-related issues.
Definitely.
So, and their Young Living has a K&B Formula to help support kidney and bladder health. And it has Juniper in it, clove, fennel, Roman chamomile. It's a liquid, and you just put 3 dropperfuls in distilled water.
Nice. We'll link all these over at the show notes, hunt4wellness.com, episode number 45. Because, you want to pick up some of those. Some of those are in the premium starter bundle as well. So definitely you want. Lemon is like almost a go-to oil for so many things.
It is. It's so good.
It's really good to have.
It's good for digestion as well, and it tastes so good. It
good for
smells
focus.
So good. Uplifting.
Mm-hmm.
That mineral essence is a mineral, so it helps us get our minerals back, and some people are concerned about the minerals.
Yes.
And the kidneys do mineral balance.
Right.
So mineral essence is really good. I will say it doesn't taste the best. Mm-hmm. So the best way to take it is just put it into like one of those shot glasses that we usually have Ningxia Red in, and just put some droppers in there, and then with a little water, chug it down very fast.
So you don't even know it's...
Yeah, and then you just drink your water.
Yeah. Nice. Good tip. Pro tip.
That is a pro tip. And then Sulfurzyme has methyl sulfonomethane, which is a natural occurring organic sulfur. In plants and animals, it's normal, and it's really good for us. And so Sulfurzyme is a supplement that supports our joint health, range of motion, bone health, metabolic functions, and circulation. That's where the kidney bladder comes in. So the metabolic is what we're looking at, but it helps a lot of things. And Ningxia Red, because it helps every single body system.
I think Ningxia Red is great for everything.
It really is.
It really is. It's got so much going on in it.
I mean, if there's only one thing you can do, take Ningxia Red.
Right. And it tastes good. It's not like other
things. It
tastes
tastes really good. And then Aminowise. And we talked about that one before because it has a hydration blend in it, a performance blend, and a recovery blend for the muscles. So that is really good to help you get your hydration up.
Yeah.
But, okay, let me tell you this really fun story about Fairy Dune
Batman
Gelage.
You've been working on that for about the last hour.
I've been working on that name.
Feridun Batman Gelage.
Okay, he's Iranian, and he has passed away, but he was a doctor and a writer, and he became a political prisoner. Was put in prison, and actually was going to be executed, but he helped a lot of people, so they didn't, which was good. Good for all of us.
Yeah.
Because what happened was people were coming to him in pain because he's a doctor, so doctors know what to do, right? But he had no medication, he had nothing to help them, so all he could recommend was water. Was drinking water. And a lot of these people had peptic ulcers, which are in your stomach, like erosion. Yeah. A wound, like a wound in the stomach. And so he just started telling them to drink water and drink it regularly. And people were being healed.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible? So he says that after he got out of prison, he started doing a lot of research on it. And he says that chronic dehydration is the root cause of most pain and many ailments.
I can see that, yeah. Especially because the body's so full of water.
Right, but when you think of like a ball, think of a ball between two hard things. And if it doesn't have enough air in it... then those hard pieces can rub against each other, But if you fill that ball up with the air or the water, then it's going to have more cushion.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So he says drinking water can cure most ailments. That was his...
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yeah.
That water is like the one thing you can't live without.
Well, yeah, we know that.
So, it makes sense that it was one thing that could help you in just about every area.
Yeah, it's 70% of the body is water.
Yeah. Like weight loss, they always say, drink lots of water. Just about everything. You get a cold or flu or whatever, drink a lot of water. It's always drink a lot of water.
Of course, yes.
So
I know.
It's a good thing. It should be distilled water.
It should be.
Yeah.
So he said he was a good doctor. He was trained in St. Mary's Hospital in the Medical School of London, and studied in detail the effects of dehydration and its negative health effects. So he wrote a few books, and we can link those. I think it's Your Body's Cry for
we'll put those in the show notes.
Water, and Your Body's Many Cries for Water. And he wrote some other things as well, but all about this. So that is the list of conditions, and there's many more actually. I'm just listing some of them that he says is helped by water: allergies, anxiety, arthritis, back pain, chronic fatigue, constipation, dizziness, dry skin, fibromyalgia, headache, heartburn, lack of sweating, lightheadedness, obesity, sleepiness, sunken eyes, tiredness. That, he says, are all improved and can be prevented by drinking water. And there's many more, actually.
Let it flow.
Let it flow. So also there is more details in his book on it.
We'll link that.
And we're going to have a little handout on the water cure.
Okay.
On how to drink it. So you can go to the website.
Yeah, go to Hunt4Wellness, episode number 45, and see the show notes for all these links. Also, as long as you're over at Hunt4Wellness, we do offer that free Connect call. Just click the blue button. We'd love to talk to you for 15 minutes, talk about your health goals, what you need guidance on, and it's free. So there's no better price than that. And just click on that blue button, and we will connect you by phone, email, text, whatever works for you, over at Hunt4Wellness.com. All right. Are we done? Have we let it all flow?
We've let it flow. Drink your water, your distilled water.
Yeah, well, that reminds me that this episode is brought to you by waterdistillers.com. Great machines that produce great water for great wellness. You definitely have to, especially after this episode, go over and check it out at waterdistillers.com, and then come back for another flowy episode of Hunt4Wellness next time.